What's good, fellas? This is going to be my full card breakdown for UFC Vegas 111. Bonfim versus Brown. A pretty solid card, I think. The prelims were solid anyway. That's all I actually got to watch. I went back and rewatched the main card. I had to piss off and play golf at the start of the main card. Ended up smashing a few beers and got on it. Played like shit, but won a couple of bottles of wine in the raffle, so it was a good day. It was a beautiful golf course. Missed the whole card, but I ended up rewatching it, like I said. The picks were okay. I think we went 7 and 5 or something, but 2 out of 2 locks and another good main event pick, so let's go. My methods were a little bit off this week, but the picks were pretty good. Got shafted by the coin and by Ismael Bonfim. Yeah, and thanks to Bedtime MMA for convincing me to pick against Uros Medic. I was ready to go back that guy in, but Bedtime convinced me that Muslim Salikov was the lock, and yeah, that just happened. So, yeah, we're going to go through the whole card. I'll give you my full breakdown for every fight. Here we go, starting at the main event. Gabriel Bonfim versus Randy Brown. Respect to Gabriel Bonfim. I picked him by submission. He watched his big brother lose and had to clear his head and come out to scrap against a game opponent in Randy Rude Boy Brown. Like I said, I think Gabriel is the better Bonfim bro. I don't think either of these guys is that good, but Gabriel is definitely the better one. Got to admit, it's hard to pick one of them without picking the other. I think they're both decent, so not too upset about missing the Ismael Bonfim pick, but respect to Taco. But yeah, Gabriel Bonfim gets it done by round 2 TKO with a flying knee, or like some kind of heavy knee anyway. Look, Randy Brown, he looked pretty loose early. He was landing a couple of leg kicks, but then just Gabriel started taking over the leg kick game. Yeah, Gabriel just went to work on his legs, bro. Just kicked the shit out of his calf and really hurt Randy Brown's legs early. And Randy Brown was switching stances and wincing from like a minute or two within round 1. His whole leg was swollen up. He got really flat-footed really quick, and it was pretty obvious that his legs were completely cooked. Still dangerous though, but Gabriel Bonfim, he was just cleaner, more accurate, and more diverse in the striking. Randy Brown eye-poked him late in round 1, but, you know, Gabriel played on after not much of a rest. I gave round 1 to Gabriel Bonfim easy. It wasn't the most engaging round, but solid leg kicks landed in round 1 by Bonfim. The stats said he landed 19, and yeah, that was the difference early. Round 2, Randy Brown starts going hard early. He lands a combination, but Bonfim rolls with it and defends it pretty well. Gabriel Bonfim had a very high upright stance and a pretty high guard. He was patient, he was elusive, and he was landing kicks throughout. The leg kicks were doing bulk work on Randy Brown. They were fucking nasty. Randy Brown looked cooked early in round 2. They were trading, and then suddenly Gabriel just landed a fucking clean knee on Brown as he tried to clinch. Flushed it up the guts like I hit my driver today, and down goes Randy Brown. He's stunned enough for long enough that the ref jumps in. Looked like a little bit of an early stoppage, but not too bad. Not the worst one I've ever seen. Randy Brown was stunned for a solid second or two, like with no defense, and looked like he didn't know where he was. I don't really blame Mark Smith there. The impact sounded really nasty, and the ref was just trying to protect the fighter. Probably could have let it go on a bit if it was a higher stakes fight, but I don't really mind it for this type of fight. Randy Brown was probably going to get lit up anyway. Gabriel was like perched up with his hand, ready to throw the next ground and pound shot before the ref jumped in. Look, the ref's job is to protect an injured fighter, and Randy Brown's body language wasn't good for that split second, so the refs only have a split second to make a decision, so I don't mind that. Nasty stuff in round 2 for Gabriel Bonfim. Knee KO. Brown was wobbled, but he got straight up and looked okay afterwards and protested. He was trying to look like he was okay, but I still think he was pretty wobbled. The knee landed pretty clean on the replay, so I'm totally fine with it. Saved Randy Brown a bit of suffering, I reckon. He got switched off momentarily, and yeah, the stoppage was warranted. Solid stuff from Gabriel Bonfim. KO win in round 2, not bad, and we get another main event pick, boys. Let's go. I said submission, but hey, he got the finish. Co-main event, Joseph Morales versus Matt Schnell. I picked Joseph Morales by round 1 submission. Like a boss. That was a complete alpha pick from me. These guys, they traded early. Schnell gets him down somehow with like a body lock takedown, but to Morales' credit, he grabs a leg and reverses it instantly, gets to side mount, grapples for a bit and lands a few elbows. Schnell gets desperate and looks for a triangle. Morales counters by grabbing an arm and threatening a Kimura. Transitions into a crucifix, lands some elbows from the T-bone position, just manhandles Schnell on the ground, and then latches up a ghillie, instantly gets the tap by submission. Yeah, easy work by Joseph Morales. Told you guys it would be. Schnell, he's a professional loser in the flyweight division. So, yeah, this one was a pretty easy lock for me. Easy work for Morales. The locks were pretty good this week. That was 2 out of 2. So, yeah, the locks are back, baby. Easy money there. Hope you got on it. I'll be betting against Matt Schnell every time. That is free money. Wasn't that confident in the Joseph Morales pick, but I was very confident in the anti-Matt Schnell pick. So, round 1 submission for Joseph Morales. He's on the radar. Good shit. Feature fight, Uros Medic versus Muslim Salikov. I picked Muslim Salikov by decision for some reason. Got brainwashed by Bedtime MMA telling me how good Muslim Salikov was. I was very, very close to picking Uros Medic. It's pretty hard to predict this shit sometimes. It's a complete coin flip, but fuck it. Anything could have happened in this fight. Both of these guys have zero defense. I should have listened to my heart here. Yeah, look, Uros, he looked good. Landed a head kick and a few decent shots early, couple of teeps, and then just a straight left hand that drops Muslim Salikov, follows up quickly, and yeah, it's over in a heartbeat within a minute of round 1. Another quick TKO win for Uros Medic. He's finished all of his UFC wins by TKO. So yeah, the doctor gets it done. This guy, look, he's got pretty heavy hands for a middleweight. Muslim Salikov, he might be done, and look, I'm not too upset about it. Fuck Dagestan. We're going to wage some fucking war against these inbred like we just did with our fucking Islam video. I don't know why I picked Muslim Salikov. That's completely off-brand for me, but hey, we live, we learn. All good. JDM, he's going to fucking sleep Islam bad. You know it. Yeah, go and watch that JDM versus Islam vid. Like and subscribe if you liked it, or fucking dislike and unsubscribe if you don't. I don't give a shit. So yeah, Uros Medic gets it done. Nasty TKO round 1. Who picked that shit? Who cares? Chris Padilla versus Ismael Bonfim. I picked Ismael Bonfim by decision. And yeah, I was pretty wrong about this one too. Gutless performance from Ismael Bonfim. It's probably going to be the last time I pick Ismael Bonfim. He just doesn't have good finishing instincts or skills or heart or much of a chin either. Pretty disappointing from Ismael Bonfim. These guys get to work early on. Bonfim attacks with a flying knee, lands like near the groin of Padilla. Man, Padilla looked pretty good in this fight. He had a high guard. He looked really compact. There was a lot of missed shots in this fight. A couple of minutes of clinch work where like Padilla was in the controlling position and not much else in round 1. Bonfim eventually pummels out of the clinch and gets Padilla down. He tries for a sub with 7 seconds to go, but falls off and Padilla tags him for it at the end of the round. I gave round 1 for Padilla. All the Twitter casuals were giving it to Bonfim, but I completely disagree with that. Round 2, we got a nice 3-piece head body to start the round for Bonfim. Padilla started taking over though late in the round. He landed some shots, backed up Bonfim and tagged him badly. Bonfim desperation wrestled but failed it. Padilla clinched him up and started landing some big elbows and knees, dropped him with a tight elbow, and Bonfim turtles up against the cage on his back. Padilla drops some bombs from the top. Bonfim looks for a leg. Padilla starts dropping big bombs on him and basically has him finished, bullies him around, picks his shots and breaks him. There's no response from Bonfim and the ref jumps in and it's over. Ismael Bonfim quits and Padilla gets the dub. Respect to the taco. I picked against him, but he proved me wrong. Solid performance from Chris Padilla. Nasty elbows, but yeah, pretty poor performance from Ismael Bonfim. Not what I expected from him. I reckon he might be cooked. Christian Leroy Duncan versus Marco Tulio. I picked CLD by decision. Look, don't worry about the methods today, boys. I fucked them up a bit, but I got the picks. CLD was my pick. A lot of people were picking Tulio, and I held the fort and picked CLD. This guy's solid, man. He's dangerous. He's a problem at middleweight. He wins round 1, lands a nasty early spinning elbow that busts up Marco Tulio. Flush as fuck elbow, split him up, and yeah, that basically won him round 1. He did throw multiple spinning elbows and got a bit of clinch work. Tons of pressure in round 1, and he looked really dangerous early, CLD. He landed multiple spinning elbows. He was starting to cook, throws a big spinning heel kick, but whiffed it completely, and Tulio took him down off it. But CLD got back up and got his own takedown, ended the round on the back of Tulio. I gave round 1 to CLD. Round 2 starts, and CLD's split, and he's pouring at his eye. Like, I thought he might have been fading. Then he lands a couple of heavy left hands and a right hand that backs Tulio up against the cage, and Tulio clinches out of desperation. Bit of clinch work here, reminiscent of the Zach Reese versus Jackson McVeigh fight. Similar stuff with some nasty elbows and knees being landed by both guys in close. Both were busted up and bleeding bad. They end up separating and trading. CLD looks for the spinning back fist and misses it. Then he throws it again and lands it completely flush and rocks Tulio. Tulio's on wobbly legs. Jab, right cross, and then CLD flatlines him. Follows up with a single nasty shot that just puts him away. Disgusting finish from CLD. Holy shit. Honestly, I was completely waffling with this pick. I just wanted a fucking underdog, and I like the look of this one. But hey, here we are. WTF moment from CLD. This guy's a madman. He's a fucking Giga Chad. Who beats this guy? Puts away Tulio bad and establishes himself as a problem at middleweight. Nice work from CLD. Solid as fuck. 3 wins in 2025. This guy's definitely on the map now. I'll be watching him more closely. Hyder Emil versus Jamal Emmers. Yeah, not going to lie. I missed this fight. I was in the car on the way to the golf club. Looks like Hyder Emil did well in round 1 and landed some good shots. I did pick Hyder Emil by KO very incorrectly. Jamal Emmers went to his wrestling in rounds 2 and 3 and looks like he secured a bunch of control time. I just watched the highlights. Looks like he had over 8 minutes of control time and he gets the win by unanimous decision. 30-27, a couple of 30-26s too. I think there must have been a pretty dominant round in there. Round 3, it looked like Hyder Emil was hurt or something. He looked like he was in serious pain. That was when I tuned into the fight and I was like, oh, this guy's completely cooked. So not sure exactly what happened to Hyder Emil, but yeah, he's hype. It's dead in the water. So tough pick there from me. Sorry, boys. Ricky Simon versus Houney Barcelos. Excellent fight. I really enjoyed this one. I picked Ricky Simon by decision. Houney Barcelos gets the nod by decision in a really close technical fight. Very, very entertaining. I gave Ricky Simon round 1. I gave Houney Barcelos round 2, and I thought he clearly won round 3. It was up for grabs in round 3, and I thought that Houney Barcelos was just landing the slightly better shots, a little bit more accurate and a little bit more active. And yeah, I thought the right guy got the nod. I thought it was a very close fight. And look, there's an argument that Ricky Simon wins both round 1 and round 2, but at the end of the fight, I thought that Barcelos was the superior guy, and I thought he deserved to win. And he did, so I'm not going to whinge about that one at all. I picked Simon. Barcelos gets it done. This guy just keeps turning up. Unk still got it. And yeah, good on him. Respect to Houney Barcelos. Blackest he's ever looked, but he turns up and he gets the nod. So good shit for Barcelos. Mayra Bueno Silva versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. I picked Jacqueline Cavalcanti by decision. I was a little bit nervous about that one. I do think that Shitara is a bad bitch. Well, she was a bad bitch. She ain't who she used to be. Yellow shorts and black top for Mayra. Very interesting choice there. Looking like a fucking bumblebee in there. And yeah, she basically just did nothing the entire fight. I asked the question in my prediction video, is Mayra washed? I think that was decisively answered today with a resounding yes. Cavalcanti was the more active, more accurate, more damaging and busier fighter with far better optics over the entire fight. Busted up Mayra Bueno Silva. Mayra wore the damage on her face way more. And yeah, I had it for a clear 30-27 decision for Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Bro, they showed Mayra Bueno Silva's foot at the end of the fight. Her foot was a fucking balloon, bro. It was fucking rancid. It was fully black. That shit's going to need an ice pack for sure. So yeah, 30-27, unanimous decision for Jacqueline Cavalcanti. The pick was money. One judge gave Mayra Bueno Silva a round. I disagree. Maybe it was round 1, but I don't really see how. So good shit for Cavalcanti. Not a very entertaining fight. Boring as batshit. Nothing special in this fight at all, but yeah, got the pick, so good stuff. Josh Hockett versus Max Jimenez. The incredible Hock gets it done by TKO. The coin flipped up Max Jimenez here, and I said it was going to be a heel hook. If you watched the predictions, you knew I was about to pick Josh Hockett by KO, but had to use the coin flip. So, yeah, look, it ends up going to Josh Hockett. The coin flip sucked, but it is what it is. It's 2-2, 50-50, perfectly balanced as all things should be. What's going on over there in Brazil, bro? These guys have got skin like Michael Jackson, eh? This Max guy has like vitiligo or whatever it's called, like Ezekiel Costa. Very interesting. Jimenez came in with a 20-pound weight advantage, but couldn't use it to his advantage. Josh Hockett blitzes in, pours it on him, lands early, 3 or 4 big shots on him, and Jimenez just goes down in a very, very funny Johnny Walker-esque way. Looney Tunes ass knockout and a big finish from Hockett. Vicious finish from him. He gets it done quickly and decisively. Round 1 KO for Josh Hockett. I was going to pick him, so fuck the coin. Easy work for Hockett. Jiu-Jitsu nerds take another massive L. Hockett, this guy's pretty cool on the mic. He went full Chael Sonnen, does a big poem in his interview, and then goes, "Walter Walker, you absolutely suck." calls him out, mic drops and walks off. So Josh Hockett, welcome to the UFC. I hope they don't give him Walter Walker because Walter should be fighting up the rankings. Tisha Pennington versus Gilbert Burns. I picked Gilbert Burns by decision. I had a lock on this one. Yeah, free money being handed out by the UFC in this one. Honestly, this fight was like watching a pair of kangaroos fight on the golf course. Just booping each other with soft little shots and basically play fighting, to be honest. No damage done whatsoever in this fight. Sort of entertaining to watch, and you get to have a bit of a laugh about it, but nobody's hurting each other, and you get bored of it pretty quick. Clear 30-27 decision for Denise Gomes. In my opinion, yeah, the judges agreed, and we get a 30-27 unanimous decision win for Gilbert Burns. She gets a black belt for it too, so good stuff, Gilbert Burns. Denise Gomes. Miles Johns versus Daniel Marcos. I picked Daniel Marcos by decision. He gets it done by submission in round 2. These boys got in each other's faces during the announcements. They were a bit fired up, and the Apex crowd was actually going pretty mad for this one. Dude, the ref, Kerry Hatley, fuck, he was looking rough, bro. That boy's been on the bags or on the fucking beers or something because he's got bags under his eyes. Worse than fucking I do after 2 days on the piss, eh? So, Kerry Hatley, I hope you're going good, brother. Solid work from Daniel Marcos. He worked the grappling in round 2, and Miles Johns, who had a decent round 1 but still lost the round, I reckon. Yeah, he looked increasingly out of answers as the fight went on. He was getting frustrated. Eventually, Daniel Marcos finds his way to the back and sinks in a rear naked choke. Miles Johns gives a thumbs up like he's all good, and then 10 seconds later, he's completely out cold, snoozing on the canvas, and yeah, Daniel Marcos gets a round 2 submission win. Nasty rear naked choke from Daniel Marcos. Miles Johns, he's a bit too tough for his own good, and he gets put to sleep for it. Not the most exciting fight, but yeah, Daniel Marcos looked good, calm and composed, and Miles Johns ran out of answers. So round 2 submission win for Daniel Marcos. He's moving his way up that division. And the first fight was Jackson McVeigh versus Zachary Reese. I picked Zach Reese by TKO. He gets it done by round 2 submission. It's looking pretty dicey there for a minute for Zach Reese. Hey, he was getting busted up in round 1 in the clinch. The commentary was talking about the clinch game for Jackson McVeigh, and they weren't wrong at all. These guys just got straight at it. Hey, Reese landed a big overhand, and then they clinched up and started just fucking mauling each other. Elbows, knees to the body, vicious stuff from both guys, but McVeigh was landing the better shots in round 1. He busted Reese up, created a big gash above his eye. Reese was not defending himself well at all, just eating bulk knees to the body and elbows from McVeigh. Landed back a couple himself, but McVeigh was just stinging him with those RDR, like Bo Nichols style body shots, and he did crumple Reese for a minute in round 1. It looked like McVeigh was about to get a finish, but Zach Reese recovered and landed a couple of good shots of his own. We got a pretty nasty knee to the dick in round 1 too. Cedricus Dumas sends his regards, but they ended up getting back at it. Reese toughs it out, bit more tie clinching. McVeigh's landing better. Eventually, Reese shoots a double leg and gets it, works into side control and attacks an arm lock and an inverted triangle at the same time. Very weird submission offense from Zach Reese. McVeigh rolls over and reverses, and there's not much else for the end of the round. I gave round 1 to Jackson McVeigh 10-9. He was doing the better work in the clinch, and it was looking pretty rough for Zach Reese. Round 2, McVeigh looks to clinch again and starts throwing knees, but Reese was a bit smarter this time. He shot early and got him down. McVeigh scrambled up but gave up his back in the process. Reese had his wits about him enough to follow the back of McVeigh, and he got his hooks in, takes it back and locks in the rear naked choke. McVeigh struggles for a second, but he runs out of breath and taps in round 2. So good stuff from Zach Reese. He weathers a nasty storm early in this one and defeats Jackson McVeigh by round 2 submission. Entertaining fight to start the card. It was bloody, full of violence and damage, especially round 1. Great start to this card. Zach Reese, he said he needs to risk it to get the biscuit. Stepped up in short notice. He risked it today and he got the fucking bicky. So good on Zach Reese. And that was it. The card was pretty solid. The picks were a bit trash. I did my best, but yeah, I didn't really watch this full card, not going to lie. So if the analysis and the recap's a bit cooked, you know why. I've had a few beers, but yeah, always good to watch a bit of UFC and fucking go play some golf. So hope you boys enjoyed the content this week. We'll be back next week with a bit more. Big card next weekend. I'm fucking hyped up. JDM's going to fucking smash Islam, and you guys fucking know it. And if he doesn't, well, you boys will be down here in the comments fucking giving me shit like you do anyway. So hope you liked the vids this week. Like and subscribe. Punch the fuck on.